Good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important middle of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkled with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. But you're not here for me. I know. I know why you're here. You're here for the morning mark. No prompts required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it doesn't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not three, one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That's the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal, the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day is officially started. Now, let me dive while you drive. Come on, people. All right. Well, what is going on in the news today? Well, how about this day in history, shall we? Because it's pretty amazing. You want to hear about it? I know you do. This day, February 3rd. All right. Okay. What? Okay. Nothing really scientific with technological milestones. Okay. Actually, let me take it back. 1928, this day in history, the paleoanthropological breakthrough, the first discovery of a Peking Man, Peking man, skull fragment was confirmed. This was a monumental breakthrough in the study of human evolution, providing some of the first evidence of Homo erectus. Oh my God, help me not make a joke over that. And their use of fire and stone tools. Okay, so Homo erectus. That's right. That's right. All right. What else? What else is this day in history? What, huh? Ooh, 1913. On this day, February 3rd, the 16th Amendment is ratified. United States ratified the 16th Amendment to the Constitution, officially authorizing the federal government to collect an income tax. Oh, shit. Today, February 3rd, 1913, this day is when the government put in place how to steal our money slowly. Come on, bro. Damn, I did not realize today was that big of a deal. Yeah, yeah. This date in history, 1917, World War I escalation. The U.S. severed diplomatic relations with Germany after the German government announced it would resume unrestricted submarine warfare. This was a critical turning point that eventually led the U.S. to enter World War I. What else happened on this day in history? 1968, or excuse me, 1966. The first soft landing on the moon. The Soviet Union's Lunar 9 became the first spacecraft to achieve a soft landing on the moon, or really any planetary body. It transmitted the first panoramic photos from the lunar surface back to Earth, proving the moon's surface could support a heavy object. I know, isn't that crazy, right? How about some famous birthdays? I only know one of these, Norman Rockwell, iconic American painter and illustrator. His legacy is defined by his 47-year relationship with the Saturday Evening Post, where he captured the essence of American culture and family life. What else is going on today? Oh, man, this is huge, bro. This day in history, February 3rd, 1959, is known as the day the music died. Today, in one of the most tragic events in music history, a small plane crashed near Clear Lake, Iowa, killing rock and roll pioneers Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper J.P. Richardson, along with the pilot. This was immortalized in Don McLean's song American Pie and marked a somber shift in the golden age of rock. Yes. Yep. That happened on this day. Matter of fact, when Scott Adams passed away, I actually on that day posted the day the music died. And for me, it was the day the music died. He was that much of an influence to me as these musicians were for really an age. But what about some fun facts? What's going on? Today is, ready for this, National Carrot Cake Day. Yeah, yeah. So here's what you've got to do. You must go to Nothing But Cakes. you must go to Nothing But Cakes and get you a little, carrot cake buntini to celebrate this magical day, right? On this day, fun fact for you. Here's a fun fact for you. Wasn't that Paul Blart on Mall Cop? Wasn't he like, I've got a fun fact for you. Here's a fun fact for you. On February 3rd, 1947, the lowest temperature ever recorded in the continental North America occurred in Snag, Yukon, Canada. A bone chilling, ready for this, negative 81.4 degrees Celsius. It was so cold that people reported they could hear their breath freeze and snap as they walked. Have you ever, like, you've been like cold, oh my God, it's like freezing my lungs. But have you ever heard of air freezing into like little sticks like this as it enters? And then as it goes down your throat, it goes blink and breaks. Air sticks that break. Yeah, yeah. You've never been in that cold. I guarantee you've never been in that cold. Okay. Pretty insane, right? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You guys would freaking love this. Now, we're going to jump into some juicy news. But before we do, you guys know I always got to have going on, right? Hold on. Quick little disclaimer for you guys. While we talk about business growth and economy here on Business for Breakfast Radio, please remember I do not hold any securities licenses. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial recommendations. I'm here to help you run your business like a Fortune CEO and not manage your portfolio. Can you hear me? Can I get a woot woot? All right. Now, you guys know, if you guys are listening, you can't listen for free. Your only cost of entry into this show is that if you learn something today and that makes you 1% smarter, the only thing I require for payment is a like and a subscribe. And just look, share. If something I say is like, oh my God, this dude's nerdy. This dude's crazy. Can you believe this freaking fun fact? Whatever it is, if you share it, remember, that's not free. Your only barrier of entry, the only thing it costs, a like and a follow. That's it. Come on, people. Come on. Now, I also want to just share with you guys because, dude, I am picking up insane amounts of subscribers since I started the show, which has really been blowing my mind. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys for making this happen. And so, I do this show because I started the show for me. And I kind of figured, look, I am probably like most small business owners who don't want to hear the news from legacy media. We don't want to hear any of the clickbait. We don't want to hear any of the propaganda. None of the stuff that gets our adrenaline flowing first thing in the morning. We don't like that. And so I thought, you know what? What if we do a freaking show for us where we get to hear some really cool stuff? We're going to learn something. Something's going to help us with our business. We're going to catch the latest news and bizzo, and we're not going to hear any of that propaganda clickbait crap. What do you guys think? That's what I thought. So I do this for me, and I do this show for you. If you guys dig it, please like and subscribe. That means everything to us. Now let's delve into some juicy news. Come on, people. Damn. Do I get myself excited? And no, some of you guys will ask, am I high? And the answer is not a chance. Because if you saw this brain inebriated, I wouldn't be able to do one sentence together. There are a lot of people that are high functioning wake and bakers. I am absolutely unequivocally not one of those guys. But today is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Today's theme is Tactical Tuesday, and everything today is going to be about tactical. So are you guys ready? Okay. Let's talk about some of our top bizzo news today. Are you guys ready? You guys know that yesterday for us started officially our tax season. I know. The IRS has officially allowed us to start submitting tax returns, I think as of January 26th, but we don't really start doing tax drop-offs until February 1, or really the first Monday in February, which was yesterday, February dose. But this story is huge for us. Here's the title. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act lowers tax barriers. Damn, I love this. I love it. Okay. Why is this? Here's the story. Effective for the current tax season, the OBBA has restored 100% bonus depreciation and doubled Section 179 expensing limits to 2.5 millos. It also blocks a previously scheduled $4 trillion tax hike, keeping marginal rates lower for small biz owners like us. Why is this such a big deal? We can now fully deduct the cost of large equipment property improvements in a single year, right? So this is an immediate cash flow injection into our business, especially for those that are looking to upgrade your brick and mortar. We do this a lot in Q4 of the year. If we've got a lot of profit, we're going to try and figure out ways to get rid of it. We is, bro. We is. Okay. What else is going on in the news today? What else? What else? Oh, oh. Okay, cool story. So this was just a couple days ago in CNBC. Political risk: how Trump 2.0 is affecting investments in U.S. assets. Now, I am going to get a. I'm going to ask Jim to summarize. You are an expert summarizer. Please, all by the way, anytime you're speaking to AI, always be cordial. Please summarize this article in 100 words. And here you go. I don't know if this thing's going to do it or not, man. I don't even know, bro. Okay. 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 Here's what we're talking about. Key developments include a new US India trade deal, which India is one of our strongest trade partners. Okay. We need each other so badly. Resources, when I say resources, I'm not talking about tangible physical. I'm also talking about people resources. So resources means, anything or everything that we can use to benefit us. And if you don't think that India gives us a lot of resources, play, are you crazy? Okay. What else? A surge in the US dollar? Dude, remember, that's all based off of the trust factor, right? Also, significant market volatility in tech and precious metals. So, additionally, the report covers tensions between the White House and institutions like Harvard, alongside major corporate moves from Palantir, Tesla, and Pfizer, signaling a shifting landscape for global investors. I'm telling you, man, Palantir for data, dude. Yep, that's where everything's at. Tesla, are you kidding? They've been masquerading as a electric car company for years. As all you remember, I'm about to put you on a scarlet letter for M for moron. Okay, so right here, pop, 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 pop. You are a moron if you think that Tesla was only an electric car company. Yeah, that is somebody that quite literally pays attention to nothing this dude is doing. Okay, no, I think it's going to be closer. In 5 years, 10 years tops, you will look at Tesla and it will look more like um, Mobile Exxon than it does General Motors. It will. It will. And Pfizer, get the hell gone, people. Get the hell gone. Okay. If you don't think Bobby Jr. and what they're doing in the FDA is making Dr. Oz, boy, all those years of you making money by feeding us these little white chalky things that are all pressed together and forcing it down our throat rather than telling us, get your ass outside and go walk a little. Take some fiber before you go to bed to neutralize your blood sugar. I don't know. Eat freaking hard boiled eggs instead of that shit that you eat when you drive into the fast food place. Take a pill. Take a freaking pill. F you, F you, and F you. Those days are gone. You're starting to see the end of last year, whenever the new administration, right, was like, yeah, we're done with those BS Affordable Care Act subsidies. Yeah, we're done with that garbage. Yeah, we're done. And then instantly, all healthcare companies are like, we're going to see a decline in revenue next year, 2026. Really? 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 Doesn't take a rocket scientist. No, it don't. No, it don't. Okay. What else is going on in the news today? All right. Oh, for us, for us, for us. Here's the title: Main Street Rallies for the Credit Card Competition Act. Yes. And we know Main Street is 0 to 50. That's the SBA. But our focus here is mom and pop venti shops, which is 1 to 20. 1 to 20 peeps. But here's the story. It's the same for both of us. Bipartisan legislation has been reintroduced in Congress to break the duopoly of Visa and MasterCard by requiring more than one network option for routing credit card transactions. Yeah, and freaking yeah, man. If you don't think these duopolies are all in bed together, when they raise rates, the other one does. When this one does it, this one does it. Yeah, they do. And that one right there, yeah, screws us big time. Screws us big time. Okay. So yes, let's get that going, right? Let's introduce a third bro. I'm telling you right now, if my boy Elon is hearing, and I'm a big believer that we're just 7 degrees from Kevin Bacon. I am 7 degrees from Elon Musk. If somebody can get this thing to this dude, oh my God, he's doing it. Holy crap. I take it all back. I'm an idiot. Nope. I forgot about all this. I forgot. This dude has been building X to be the full platform, including payment transactions. I think the dude, you understand, this dude, everything he introduces is to break something. Like, it's been like this for a zillion years. Right? We're going to break it. Yeah, we're just going to break it. Yeah, I mean, we got to do, cell phones, or we do internet through, like, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm going to break that. I'm going to do satellites. Yeah. We do cars, and basically, like, everybody bids out the part of the car and they run their own software. Yeah. We're going to do different. I'm going to break that. We're going to control everything. We're going to basically be the Apple of automobiles. Okay. Like, everything this dude does is about breaking stuff. Okay. So, when just, dude, be expecting X to be where in the next 5 years, where if you want to bypass Visa and MasterCard, you can use that platform to send money. And they're not the only one, by the way. Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, they're all doing it now, bypassing Visa, MasterCard. Yeah. That control that they've had for those decades, it's going by the wayside. And you don't even know how excited that makes me, right? But here's the thing. If you guys have questions about stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys have questions about, we're talking about with the new OBBA tax laws and stuff like that. Look, you guys know that for almost 60 years, we've been doing small business accounting, specializing in mom and pop venti shops, 1 to 20 employees. Us, okay? If you guys need help with your bookkeeping, your tax work, you got payroll. I need to start putting people on payroll. I've got this crazy business idea I've had for years. To be honest with you, I've had goals for years, but I just can't seem to get them done. Okay, I got you. There's 2 ways to get to us. One, you can go to businessforbreakfastradio.com. Okay, you go to that website. That's the radio, the pages site. Submit a question. I'll reply back. Read it on air. Or hit me up directly. Speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. So if you guys need questions or anything, hit me up. I'll get you guys taken care of. All right. What else is going on in the news today? Huh? Let's do this. 5. Okay, good. Oh. Okay. Yep. To my point of freaking Elon Musk, okay? CNBC, Elon Musk is stressing robots over cars. Here are 3 humanoid parts suppliers that Morgan Stanley recommends. Yes, and more yes. What this dude is building is the largest distribution platform on planet Earth. Everything is going to have the software. He will have intimate knowledge of everything. And luckily for us, this dude is obsessed with being useful to mankind. Yep, he is. I can't say that all of the richest dudes on the planet are there, but I would definitely just see. And again, obviously, you don't know him personally, but in the very beginning of a relationship, you judge them on their words, but then the longer you know them, you judge them on their actions. So I'm just basing this purely on actions of seemingly working toward the betterment of mankind. I remember even hearing Elon speak about this. I don't know, it was like in last month, and he was doing an interview, and he said it's difficult to be useful at scale. And you got to understand what he's saying. Is that, yeah, it's easy to go start a soup kitchen, but it's difficult to start a soup kitchen in every town, in every state, in every country around the world. You get it. That's what we're talking about. Being useful at scale. And you don't think that, like, that with by the end of Q2, I will have a Tesla Model 3 long range that has at least 14.2.2 FSD driving me to the offices. Like the day of me having to hire a driver at 25 bucks an hour, whatever, to sit in the front and just drive me while I can work. Yeah, those days are gone, man. They're gone, gone, right? You don't think this dude is literally changing history and literally rewriting the pages of history every day as he goes? Yeah, it's happening, bro. It's happening. Just wait. Just wait. What else is happening in the news? Ooh, here's the title. Warning: the Tanghulu trap and viral food fad debt. What? What is this story? Business analysts are reporting a surge in small business bankruptcies linked to micro trends, specifically pointing to the rapid rise and fall of niche food shops like Tanghulu candied fruit stalls. Okay. Here's what this is meaning for us. Okay, so for right now, there's a big fad right now called pickleball. Okay, like, and by the way, um, something that starts from nothing and then becomes this big thing that everybody's talking about as a fad. Now, you don't know if this fad becomes permanent. You got to wait. You have to wait. You need history and time to see if the fad becomes mainstay. But man, you've seen this so many times, and I got to give major, major props to my aunt Fran. So years ago, she started a all natural paleo granola, and she calls it Franola. Okay, out of Cali, she's now shipping all the states. I have had the amazing honor and privilege of giving guidance and helping her with her business when she requires it. So she is insanely intelligent and smart and has so many of the natural, tangible benefits. But I got to tell you something, granola, that type of thing, like, could it be a fad? And here's what this is saying: start this thing as a baby, start this business as an acorn, start it as a kitchen, like your home kitchen prep. Start your stuff that way. Don't do this BS of brick and mortar. And I got even so my aunt has her very first brick and mortar, but it's all it is a commercial kitchen. Still is not where the public comes. This is what this story is saying. Look, you've been caught up in these fad foods, but those are going by the wayside. Okay. So start your business as an acorn and grow it into a full size oak tree, but start it as a baby. Okay. Start this thing for less than a grand. Most service businesses, I can't think of one you can't start for under a grand. Not one, you know? And so, as a matter of fact, and that is my challenge to you guys. Try. Like, try to find me a service business that you think is more than $1,000 and hit me up. Tell me what the business is on businessforbreakfastradio.com. Send me a question. Say, hey, Aaron, I've got this business for this. How can I start this thing for under a grand? Let me know. I'll prove it to you. I'll reply back, or we'll do the case study on air. So just go to Business for Breakfast Radio, submit, hey, Ron, how do I start this business, this X business? And remember, it's got to be service based for under a grand, and I'll build you your plan. Watch it. I'll do it. I'll do it live with you guys. Okay. What else though? Here's the other thing. When it comes to consulting, you guys have had these ideas. Like, I've had this business for years, or I've had these ideas to implement in my business for years, and I've been stuck. I know. I got you. Look, we're all just fourth graders trapped in adult bodies, which means what? The teacher's got to tell us when the homework's due. Are you tracking, playa? Come on now. Okay. Which means what? We flipping need accountability, right? Right? We need it. All of us. Even Tiger Woods needs a swing coach. Come on, playa. Can I get an amen? A woot woot. Can I get a woot woot? Well, I can get a woo woot out of that for sure. If you guys need assistance, if you need consulting, if you need help with the new One Beautiful Bill Act and what this does for taxes, we got you. You can hit us up, Business for Breakfast Radio, ask a question, reply back, or I'll read it on air, or talk to me directly at speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. All right, my beautiful people. What else is going on in the news today? Woo-hoo. Can you tell I'm like jazzed? Okay, check this. Check this. Check this. Tankers moving crude. This is in Bloomberg. This is just from a few hours ago. Tankers moving crude from the Middle East to China have charged the highest fees in 2 months this week. Bro, you got to know what's going on. You got to know what this deal is that we have. Okay. This I'm going to tell you guys something that is pretty amazing. Okay. So let me see here. Did I do it right here? I've got one of these things right here it'll blow your face. It will. Okay. Okay. All right. Shut up. Boy, I don't even see where it's at right now. I know where it's at. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? No, I'm going to save it. No, I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you guys right now um, why we basically have. Nope. Yes, I will. Okay. So I'm going back and forth because it's going to take me a few minutes to describe it, but I think it's important for you guys to understand why it is that the petrodollar, the US, has been dominating the world since the 70s. Okay. So going through the 60s, basically, we're pulling out of war. Economy is flat. And something happens in 1974. And I'm about to share with you guys, I'm about to give you guys a history lesson on a deal that the U.S. inked with the Middle East in 1974 that changed the American history and trajectory from that day forward. Here's what happened. 1974, the shadow deal. And so it was a secret agreement between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. And by the way, go check all this out. It's all there. Where the U.S. guaranteed, listen to me, the U.S. guaranteed Saudi Arabia's security in exchange for Saudi Arabia's pricing all oil in U.S. dollars and investing its oil profits back into U.S. Treasury bonds. Did you freaking hear me? This created an artificial demand for the dollar and allowed the U.S. to print money and run large deficits. This started in, ready for this? 1974. I was born in 76. I'm 50. This has been going on for 52 years. 52 years. Okay. And so, what did that happen? What happened? Then you had the dollar's global dominance. The petrodollar system forced countries to acquire US dollars to buy oil, okay? Creating a global demand for the dollar and allowing the US to essentially get real goods in exchange for printed paper. Okay. Countries basically had to do business with us where we paid them in dollars so they could take those dollars and buy the oil they need from Saudi. I know, I know. Is some of this stuff kind of clicking? Because you're looking back over like the last 10 years and you're like, I remember hearing about the Vegas shooting that was actually like helicopters turned off their transponders and literally they found casings right where the helicopters were at between the buildings doing the shooting, the Las Vegas shooting. Right. And who was staying at the hotel at the time? MBS. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We didn't say a damn thing about it. Not a damn thing. Remember when the journalist basically got captured in the embassy and basically dismantled? Right. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing, right? How about like the Kirk assassination, right? Even that itself was like there was lots and lots of like there was a couple Egyptian planes that were involved in that, right? We don't say a damn word. We can't because if we go against Saudi, all they have to do is say we will take the yen for oil. We will, bro. We'll take the peso. You get it? They have diplomatic immunity to do anything that they want because they quite literally prop our entire economy up and have since 1974. Now, here's a few individuals that were trying to challenge the petrodollar. Saddam Hussein's euro mistake, Iraq's decision to sell oil in euros in 2000 is presented as a significant challenge to the petrodollar, suggesting it was a contributing factor to the U.S. invasion of Iraq. After the invasion, Iraqi oil sales were immediately switched back to the dollar. Damn, dude, you are now reading realizing the wars and the reasons. It ain't true. Come on, playa. What is it? Gaddafi's gold dinar. Muammar Gaddafi's plan to create a gold-backed Pan-African currency, the gold dinar, is highlighted as another attempt to undermine Western financial hedge money, which it's implied that that is the reason for NATO's intervention in Libya. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What else? How about the weaponized finance and Russian pivot? So the freezing of Russia's central bank reserves and its exclusion from SWIFT after the 2022 invasion of Ukraine is discussed as a turning point. This action, while intended to cripple Russia, demonstrated to other nations that their dollar reserves could be seized, leading them to seek alternatives. Russia's pivot to selling oil in rubles, and building parallel financial systems is presented as a direct consequence. Mhm. The rise of the yen. China, now the largest oil importer, is actively pushing for oil payments in yen. To make the yen more attractive, China linked its oil futures contracts to flipping gold, allowing oil producers to immediately convert yen into physical gold, bypassing the freaking dollar system. Now, are you starting to understand? I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing, by the way, speculating here. No idea. This is AA Ron's opinions, but I'm just speculating that we're going to go get the Venezuelan dictators, him and his wife, by using direct energy weapons. I don't think, and by the way, I'm just speculating, I don't think it's because we were worried about speedboats leaving Venezuela and somehow making it to and pulling up like in like Orlando, like where the cruise ships come in, and they just like drop in there and they just drop off like containers, like gallons, like these huge gallon containers of fentanyl. Right. I'm thinking probably more like oil. I don't know. Basically the most important commodity on planet Earth, maybe. Yeah. When you understand the arrangement that we've had with with Saudi Arabia for the petrodollar since 1974, it really explains a lot. And it explains why we turn a blind eye to anything Saudi Arabia does. Anything. There's not a damn thing we can do about it. They are the dog wagging the tail, not us, playa, not us, right? Come on, bro. I know I'm speaking to somebody. What else is happening in the news today? I, I saved this in Bloomberg because I was like, do we still have this news? So NASA is pushing the proposed launch date for its Artemis 2 lunar mission back to at least March after finding a hydrogen leak during a major fueling test. How in the hell is NASA still even in business? How is this even freaking possible? How is NASA? I don't know, bro. Like to me, they stopped innovating in the 60s. Like, how is it? I just don't understand. How is it that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos can literally have freaking rockets, and Musk can have rockets that you can catch with freaking chopstick as they re-enter, and yet NASA is still having hydrogen leaks? What the H? I literally feel like um, we have let's say SpaceX is using, let's just say for all intents and purposes in this example, a 2026 Tesla Model Y Juniper. I'm just going to throw that out. Like the newest of all Teslas, okay? And that is SpaceX. SpaceX is using that as their vehicle. And then you have freaking NASA, a broken down stagecoach with effing wooden wheels, not even rubber wheels, effing. That's what I feel like I'm reading. Like, how are they still trapped? Like I'm like watching an old black and white Mickey Mouse cartoon. Like he's like tooting. He's like, you know that when he's on the wheel, like woo, 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 woo. Like I'm like, what the hell is this, bro? Can we get to color? And then can we get to 4K, man? Like what, dude? NASA, freaking retire, man. Get the H gone, dude. You cannot be around anymore. You are a waste of time. You are a waste of money. Everybody knows it. The billions and 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 billions we send you, we all know is a waste. Look, I'm just saying what you guys are all thinking, and I'll be that dude. You're welcome. You're welcome. What else is going on? Boy, can you tell I am on a tear today, Matt? Oh, okay. Now, I've got to make major props in this. Now, let's be honest. If you hear about two things, the state of California and news, out of 10 times, 7 or 8 out of those stories is going to be negative. But I feel like this one is a good story. Okay. So we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay. We just need to throw the one baby, okay, out and leave the bathwater. But we just got to get rid of that baby, okay, the one that's running the state, and then keep the bathwater. Okay. So we're going to reverse it. But here's the story, or here's the title: California's Small Business 642 reshapes job postings. So basically, what it is, here's the story. As of this month, California's Pay Equity Enforcement Act, okay, CPEA, which is called SB 642, now requires job postings to list a realistic day one salary. Moving beyond vague ranges, it also extends the statute of limitations for pay claims to 3 years, which, by the way, I think this is fantastic, okay? Because as an individual, right? So we know, especially in like sales organizations, that there are, yes, there's always the top 10% that make like 80% of the money. Like we know that. But here's the dealio. I'm a normal dude, bro. Like I'm normal. There's nothing. I don't know how to sell. I hate selling. If somebody actually, it is the biggest insult to me if somebody says I'm a good salesman. What I am is insanely passionate. And if I'm passionate about something, it's damn hard to tell me no. But it's just because I'm passionate, not because I know how to sell. But I'm telling you, people that have these sales jobs where the average pay is like 50 or 60 grand, but because they've got half dozen people that make over 150, they're like, oh yeah, like the pay is like 50 to 150. And you're like, right. But like reasonably, because like for me to budget 50K is a lot different than me budgeting 150K, which is also different than me budgeting 100K. Which is it? Right. I feel like this is actually something that's needed. Transparency. I think transparency is needed. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? I feel good about this story. You guys feel good about the story? I like it. I think it's important for us. Well, what else is going on in the news today? Bro, first of all, I freaking love Dickie Bush. Okay. He's a great follow on X. This dude is always putting cool crap up there, which for a dude like me who just nerds out on like learning crap, this dude puts stuff up like almost every day of like, by the way, here's this blah, blah. So check this. Most creative company of the last 30 years, Pixar, which you guys know, if you heard my show last week, I talked about Steve Jobs 1.0 and Steve Jobs 2.0. 2.0 was when Apple brought him back in, but he'd already started Pixar, and he figured out the secret to any successful company is your people. He did. Steve Jobs 2.0 was the greatest boss to ever work for. 1.0, crazy visionary, but also a child. 2.0, visionary, one of the greatest leaders of our generation. But Dickie puts this thing out here. Back in 2011, Pixar storyboard artist Emma Coates shared their 22 rules for storytelling. And the rules are a must read for writers, entrepreneurs, and anyone who wants to tell captivating stories. Are you guys freaking ready for this, dude? Are you freaking ready for this? Bro, I have not clicked on this on purpose. I've been waiting on this. Get ready. Get freaking ready, people. Okay. All right. Let me just grab this story. Okay. First of all, I have still not figured out how. Like here's the story. Okay. So let me go back to Dickie Bush. Okay. Let me click this. Here's the breakdown. Number one. Here's rule number one. You admire a character for trying more than for their successes. Your audience loves the story, the path, the ups and the downs. For stories, brands, and products, focus on how and why and less on the what. Rule number two, you got to keep in mind what's interesting to you as an audience, not what's fun to do as a writer. They can be very different. You, the writer, is completely irrelevant. Focus on delivering to the audience. Rule number three, trying for theme is important, but you won't see what the story is actually about until you're at the end of it. Now rewrite it. Oh my God, bro. Freaking good to great. Right here. Start with the end in mind, bro. That's literally what Thomas J. Watson did and Johnson did with IBM. They reverse engineered what it was going to look like when it was built. Start with the end and then rewrite it. Oh my God, bro. Okay. Wow. Damn, your original idea rarely ends up the same as your final idea. What? Rule number 4. Once upon a time, there was ... every day, comma, ... one day, because of that, until finally, this is the flow. Here's the flow. Once upon a time, there was, right? Every day, comma, blah, blah. Then one day, blah, blah. Because of that, blah, blah. Because of that, blah, blah. Until finally, blah, blah, blah. What? That's a story spine to effortlessly create a narrative. Damn it, Dickie. Damn it. You are an effing genius, bro. I swear to God, you and I are going to be besties. Okay, rule number 5. Simplify. Focus. Combine characters. Hop over detours. You'll feel like you're losing valuable stuff, but it sets you free. Damn it. This goes for every writer, marketer, or entrepreneur should be to add constraints and do more with less. It's so freaking true, bro. Act like you are a startup and you have no money. These are rules by Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Everything they start, no matter how big the company, they start it as a scrappy startup. They start everything as a freaking acorn. An acorn. Rule number 6, what is your character good at, comfortable with? Throw the polar opposite at them. Challenge them. How do they deal with it? Damn it. Rule number 7, come up with your ending before you figure out your middle. Seriously, endings are hard. Get yours working up front. Stories, sales pages, brand pitches. Always start with the end in mind and work backwards from there. Damn it, Dickie. You're a genius, bro. 2 words, gene, yes. Rule number 8, finish your story. Let go even if it's not perfect. In an ideal world, you have both, but move on. Do better next time. Done well is better than perfect, right? No book is ever finished. It's merely abandoned. Okay. Don't let perfectionism keep you from publishing, or what Mark Cuban always says, perfection is the enemy of profit. That's my boy, Mr. Cuban. Rule number 9, when you're stuck, make a list of what wouldn't happen next. Lots of times the material to get you unstuck will show up. This is the ultimate hack to overcome writer's block. And by the way, Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, right here. Right here. Absolutely one of the greatest books, teaching you to write within like a postage stamp. It's just brilliant, bro. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Okay. Rule number 10, pull apart stories, the stories you like. What you like in them is a part of you. You've got to recognize it before you can use it. 90% of being a good writer or storyteller is being a good noticer. Notice when things resonate with you and start asking why. Be curious, not judgmental. Walt Whitman quote, what? Come on now. Rule number 11. We're halfway done, people. Putting it on paper lets you start fixing it. Damn, that's true. If it stays in your head, a perfect idea, you never share it with anyone. Your head is the worst place to store ideas. Getting Things Done by David Allen will change your life. That's exactly what he talks about in the book. Thank you, Dickie. This is why Tim Ferriss, who also is a freaking genius. You see, I got both of his books here. Bake and Bake. Okay. Change lives. Life change. Okay. That's why Tim Ferriss commits to writing 2 crappy pages per day. Focus on getting the raw material. Rule number 12, discount the first thing that comes to mind, and the second, third, fourth, fifth. Get the obvious out of the way. Surprise yourself. This reminds me of at Julian's creativity faucet idea. To find your best idea, you need to unclog all that junk first. Damn, dude. Totally true, man. Wow. Wow. Rule number 13. Give your characters opinions. Passive, malleable might seem likable to you as you write, but it's poison to the audience. Your opinions should make your audience take a stand. No, it seems, or maybes, or potentiallys. Take a stand and don't hedge. Just be you, bro. Be you. Come on now. Come on, Dickie. Rule number 14 of Pixar's success. Why must you tell this story? What's the belief burning within you that your story feeds off of? That's the heart of it. Nothing to add on this one. It's one of the best reflection questions I've ever come across. This is all from Dickie Bush. Rule number 15, if you were your character in the situation, how would you feel? Honestly, honesty lends credibility to unbelievable situations. I remember this like it was yesterday, listening to Jason Alexander, who played George Costanza for the show Seinfeld. Okay. And go look. It is one of the most hysterical interviews Jason Alexander ever gave, specifically talking about his character, George Costanza. Okay. Now, this is like in the first 4 or 5 episodes of season 1, okay? And Jason Alexander is a trained theater actor, okay? I know in the show he's like this crazy, like, "Arr, arr." No, the dude is a trained actor, okay? And about 5 episodes in, they're doing the table read, and it's George's lines, and he reads this thing, and he's like, how do I even like respond to this? This would never happen to anybody. And then Larry David says, "What are you talking about? That actually happened to me." And that is when, for the first time, Jason Alexander realized George Costanza is actually Larry David. And from that moment forward, you saw Jason Alexander playing Larry David. Isn't that crazy, bro? Aren't you like, isn't that cool? And so that's what we're talking about here, man. Like, how would you feel being this character? It is the secret to acting. Can you walk in somebody else's shoes and then accurately portray what you're feeling when you're walking in those shoes? That's literally the definition of acting, right? And so in that situation, you being the character, how would you feel? Be honest. Rule 16, what are the stakes? Give us reasons to root for the character. What happens if they don't succeed? Stack the odds, man. Stakes are part of the foundation on which every good story is built. Okay. What else? Rule number 17, no work is ever wasted. If it's not working, let go and move on. It'll come back around to be useful later. You won't always put our best. You won't always put your best stuff out, your best stuff, and trying not to do so is impossible and leads to burnout. So focus on showing up. Consistency creates competence. What I say every day: routine is the key. Consistency will set you free. This reminds me of an amazing interview between, his name is Daniel something, and Benny Blanco. And Benny Blanco was talking about a song that Maroon 5 sang, but it took him 8 years of working on the song. 8 years. Now, just so you guys know how creative space, like I think of myself as a music producer for business, where all I do is think of crap. And then I've got everything stored. In my opinion, I have the greatest, I call it FIRS, a file index retrieval system on the planet. I've been working on it for 20 years. I can think of something and then archive it somewhere in a notebook or a note, get to it within a couple clicks. But I've got stuff that I've been working on for 8 years, 10 years, right? So if you're working on stuff, it's not wasted, man. But you better figure out your own file index retrieval system. And it ain't putting everything in spiral notebooks and moleskin journals. No, you've got to be able, that's the file. But what about the index retrieval part of it? Elon Musk said this probably 10 years ago, and it didn't make a lot of sense until really today. And he said, we are moving away from the place where we have to start remembering everything and moving to a place we have to start retrieving everything. Retrieving it, not remembering it, retrieving it. Right? Are you guys tracking? Is this making sense to you guys? I knew it would. I knew it would. Okay. And so, rule number 18, you have to know yourself, the difference between doing your best and fussing. Story is testing, not refining. Too often people get caught up in trying to plan every step from A to Z. You hear me say it every day. Don't worry about A to Z, but obsess over A to E. The first few steps, brah. Just obsess over that, right? And in business, that's basically zero to cash flow, right? If even a business idea, me for the accounting piece doesn't even come into play. I'm like F to L. I'm not A to E. A to E is it's the least amount of work we have to do to your very first dollar bill. It's basically A to E. E is your first dollar bill in the business, right? But he's just saying, break it all down, man. And by the way, this book over here, Bird by Anne Lamott, that's basically the premise. That's the premise, okay? Rule number 19, coincidences Coincidences to get characters into trouble are great. Coincidences to get them out of it are cheating. Man, this is so freaking true, bro. You really know this when you have crappy movies because it'd be like this person's impossible situation, and the very next scene, it's like somebody like randomly walks by the door, or hears them, and then obviously they're chained to a chair, surrounded by full tanks of gasoline, ready to explode when the MacGyver bomb is about to go off, right? And so it's like, okay, yeah, falling into the situation, like you were not going to believe it. I had me walking down the street, and I basically was wearing something red, and they thought that I was a blood, and so the Crips basically took me and put me in the warehouse. Okay, that's a coincidence, but getting out of it, you can't do that in stories. No, no, no. You want that person to be the hero, which means they got to get out of that themselves, right? They can't win no lottery. Okay. Rule number 20. Exercise. Take the building blocks of a movie you dislike. How would you rearrange them into what you do like? You can now use this for every creative medium. When something doesn't resonate with you, an article, a tweet, or whatever, ask why. Rick Rubin is the best at this. And Benny Blanco talks about this story actually. But if Rick Rubin hears something and it's like almost there, like you pay for Rick Rubin's ear because he has a feeling, right? You pay for his ability to communicate the way he feels about something. That's why he's the best music producer on the planet, because of feeling. And I remember one time, and even Benny was talking about this in an interview, and he said that they brought Rick in to work on a song, and Rick heard it. He's like, "Yeah, it sounds good, but I don't know. I feel orange. Like it makes me feel orange. Like it's like not red, but it's like orange. Red is we're there, fire hot. Like it's there. I feel it. Like it's literally I've got the tingling and my hairs are standing up. But this feels orange. Like it's close, but not there. Okay. That's what we're talking about here, right? So if it doesn't resonate with you and you feel a little orange, look, make it better. Make it better. Rule 21. You got to identify with your situation, your characters. You can't just write cool. What would make you act that way? This goes both ways. You need to out yourself in your character's shoes and your audience's shoes. Make your listener feel understood through authenticity. Are you tracking? Is this stuff not hitting you guys, man? Dickie, I just want to thank you, bro. I want to thank you for this. Rule number 22. What's the essence of your story? Most economical telling of it. If you know that, you can build from there. And the best for last, ask yourself, what are you really trying to say in as few words as possible? Strip away everything that distracts from that goal. And that's it. Okay. So go reread those rules. It's the 22 rules that Pixar implements, shared their 22 rules for storytelling. And if you don't think that those are the most important from arguably the greatest storytelling company on planet Earth, I'd say better than Disney. I'd say better than Disney. Yeah. Pixar's better than Disney. That right there, if that don't make you 1% smarter, there ain't nothing. And you know what that means. If you learned something, which I know you did, you only have one. The only way I get compensated is a like and a follow. That's it. That's it. It's like it's the honor system. It's like when you're walking out and it's like little candy. Like this helps like the cancer patients, like the kids at the cancer hospital. Just 25 cents for like a little fireball, right? Okay, it's an honor system. So freaking like and subscribe. Okay, like trust me. I do this show for us, so give me one of those. That would be a huge grazie. Thank you. You know, I think that was a phenomenal lesson. And I want to kind of shift into. I know that I thought today's news and what was today, what was interesting. I thought you guys would really, really dig the Pixar thing. I couldn't wait to talk about. Okay, and so, but you guys know that my favorite part of the show tends to kind of be at the end. Okay. And so what I want to do though is I want to kind of roll into a lesson for you as a business owner, specifically working with your teams. Okay. So here's the theme: functional task conflict. By the way, all of you guys listening, if you work with people, this is going to be for you. Okay. So don't check out. I know you want to, but don't. This is going to change you right here. So the most impactful concept here is the distinction between functional task conflict and dysfunctional relationship conflict. Okay. Specifically, the idea that a peaceful business isn't always a profitable one. To grow, you need creative tension regarding how and what work gets done while ruthlessly eliminating personal friction. And you hear me say this all the time. So there has to be, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Listen, Linda, listen. There must be tension between a CEO and a CFO. There must be tension, right? Think about a cell phone tower that's 2,000 feet. I got my pilot's license last year, and trust me, whenever you're planning something, you got to know where those 2,000-foot towers are, so you can navigate around them, especially if you're flying underneath the Bravo, right? But here's the kicker: that tower, if you put a level up against it, is perfectly straight. How? How? Tension wires. Perfect tension equals 90 degrees, right? Perfectly straight, perfectly level, right? Perfect tension. So think about a CEO and a CFO that you want to get frustrated because you want to ask, and it's like the parent saying no, slap your hand. That's not it. Listen to me. The CEO wants extravagant. The CFO wants economical. And you settle in the middle for economical and excellent. Right there in the middle. He wants economical. This one wants extravagant. Excellent. Right? That's tension. Organizations must have tension. I'm telling you right now, I would be scared out of my mind if that core leadership team was not having conflict. Okay, tension, not dysfunction, but definitely conflict and tension. Okay, this is a big, big, big thing. Okay, so we're talking about the tension within your business. Okay, so the idea that a peaceful business isn't always a profitable one. To grow, you need creative tension regarding how and what work gets done while ruthlessly eliminating personal friction. So here's our micro lesson for today. Think of your business like a commercial kitchen. Okay. You guys know I think in pictures. So if two cooks are arguing over whether the steak should be seared in butter or oil, that's functional task conflict. They both want a great steak. That argument leads to a better dinner and happier customer. That's good heat. That's the tension we're talking about. That's the good tension. That's healthy tension. Okay. But if those same cooks are arguing because one thinks the other is arrogant or lazy, that's relationship conflict. That's a grease fire. It doesn't improve the food. It just burns the entire kitchen down. As the owner, you want to turn up the heat on the how-to debates and put a fire extinguisher to the personality clashes. Okay, so for us mom and pop venti shops, here's how it affects us. Specifically, there's a term called social loafing. That's the free rider effect. And dude, in big co, those people are just a number. But in small co, in our business, bro, that is cancer that is in thyroid. Like that sucker is spreading to the entire organization faster than you can even scan it. Like that's how fast it is. Okay. So we in a small team, that one person that's loafing quite literally means that 20% of your workforce just evaporated. Furthermore, if your team is too polite to tell you that the new marketing idea is a dud, you can't even fathom the amount of money you'll lose. And this is a lesson for you guys, man, as an owner. More often than not, the team can't give you the feedback because you take that feedback personally. So here's a rule for you. As a small business owner, you take your business personally, and you should. But when it comes to feedback, you take that feedback personally, and you shouldn't, right? The 4 C's of feedback: comments, criticism, complaints, and compliments. Most of you think 3 are bad and 1 is good. In actuality, 3 are great and 1 is okay. How the hell would you know to make anything better if you don't get 3 of the 4 C's of feedback, right? Stop taking that shit personal. Come on now. You know I'm speaking to somebody here, right? Right? You get what I'm saying, right? All right. So here's kind of our do it today action plan, right? So you're going to have what we call a devil's advocate huddle. So before the sun goes down today, I want you to pull together your team for 10 minutes to discuss one specific process. Okay, whatever that is, how to close out the register, how you onboard a new client, new customer, whatever it is. Okay, I want you to find one flaw. So the stated goal, I want to find one flaw in how we do X to save us time. Okay, and remember, if you have that mindset, it's not my idea, your idea, but the best idea that wins, and you detach the idea from your ego and that just floats above you. Now, whenever somebody doesn't use it or uses part of it, you're not offended anymore. You got to detach the idea from your ego. And so your job, you're going to sign the role, point to one employee and say, your job for the next 5 minutes is to tell me why our current way is inefficient. You aren't being mean. You're being the devil's advocate. And your job as the owner is to reward that friction. When they point out a flaw, thank them publicly. By mandating conflict over a task, you prevent the groupthink that keeps small businesses stuck in expensive old habits. And to be honest with you, it's a perfect transition into what we do at our accounting firm, Interstate Business Management. Since 1968, been owned by small business owners, for small business owners. This place is an oasis for us, the mom pop Venti shops. If you guys are like, look, man, I've had projects for years, I can't get them done. I have nobody holding me accountable. I wish I had my own personal board of directors. Why can't I have my own executive council like all the greats did? You can. And that starts today. We're the only accounting firm on planet Earth that actually offers peer advisory groups free to you, and you don't have to be one of our customers. That's right. You can get in, and all you got to do, if you want to be in one of these, we open them up the first of the month. Actually, the one that starts in February starts 2 days from now, Thursday, and it's just a group of peers, 6 to 8 of you, and they're going to really help you with three things. One, give you clarity on your goals because they're 12-week sessions. You get more done in 12 weeks than you had the last 2 years. They're also going to hold you accountable as a team of peers. And then also, which is the most important thing, which we just talked about in the lesson, help you minimize mistakes, especially the ones that cost you money, right? But if you have, you need help with your accounting, and that's tax work, bookkeeping. How does the OBBA laws apply into your business? I've got this business I want to start, but I don't know step one. Whatever it is, okay? You have questions. I have a question about something you said today on the show. I've got this business I want to start. You gave me a challenge. I can get it done for under $1,000. Tell me how to do it, Aaron. Okay, cool. I got you. There's two ways to hit us up. businessforbreakfastradio.com. Okay. Submit a question. I'll reply back to you or read it on the air, or talk to me directly at speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com, right? Talk to me about anything, man. But I think, and I think you guys also see, normally we do a Scott Adams reframe, but I thought those two lessons, man, we covered so much. I taught you guys about the petrodollar. Man, we talk about everything today. I don't know, man. Every day I'm like, it can't be a better show than it was yesterday. But man, I'm lying. This was the greatest Business for Breakfast show I've ever done. Like, I'm feeling it, right? I feel it. Okay. Remember, guys, if you think that everything we're talking about is hard or you think it's easy, you're right. I don't want you just working in your business from today. I want you guys minding your own business. All right, my people. You guys got the news. You've got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it? You know what time it is. Come on now. It's time. It's time to get to work.